Well, many of you who have been here know that each week we have been reviewing the factors of awakening. And this week we are reviewing the fourth factor of awakening, which is piti, the Pali word piti, or joy. And of course, joy is also the third of the four boundless heart qualities of the Brahma Viharas, where we know joy as mudita, that spontaneously arises in the good fortune of others. There's a Chinese proverb that says, if we keep a green bow alive in our heart, the singing birds will come. In the teaching of the immeasurable qualities of the Brahma Viharas, joy isn't referred to as a transient episodic state, but more as a way of understanding, of seeing, of an embodiment of understanding that's available to every one of us. From the book Boundless Heart by Christina Feldman, she writes, cultivating joy as a way of being in the midst of all conditions and events of our life is an invitation to radically transform our understanding of joy, experiencing it not as a state, but as a place where our hearts rest. Well, this meditator can feel a lot of pressure around the word joy. And what I've grown to appreciate and understand a little better through practice is that the pressure that I have experienced has been more about the way I've understood joy. As if I'm supposed to, I don't know, like jump for joy. And of course, there are times when we do jump for joy, and that feels wonderful. There's so many experiences that offer joy. Nature, music, poetry, the laughter of a child, clean water, a warm blanket. And we want to pay attention to those and savor them. But how might we deprive ourselves of joy by thinking that it has to be something big and memorable? And I do think that it's helpful to reflect on some of the conditioning and messages that we've received about joy from our families and cultures, and how they have shaped the way we relate to or experience joy. In the factors of awakening, the placement of joy suggests that cultivating and opening to joy is a natural outgrowth of mindfulness, first factor. Embodied investigation, inquiry, second factor. And effort and energy. And that joy is a bridge to the calming factors of tranquility, and then concentration and equanimity. This is a short reflection from the Samyutta Nikaya Sutta, where Buddha says, when there is mindfulness, Dhamma investigation follows. With Dhamma investigation, energy is aroused, and with energy, joy arises. With joy, the body and mind become tranquil. With tranquility, there's a happiness. And with happiness, the mind becomes concentrated. This is different from the Merriam-Webster definition of joy, where it says joy is the emotion evoked by well-being, success, or good fortune, or by the prospect of possessing what one desires. I think this is a definition that many of us were raised with. So our mindfulness practice is really teaching us how to take ourselves out of the dependency of external and internal conditions. There's a freedom when we're not so gripped and dependent upon some condition that we hope or dream for. There's a freedom when whether I am in touch with pleasant or unpleasant sensations does not define joy. Joy is such an important factor of awakening. Many, many times I've heard Bill say, people often stop practicing when there's a dryness to practice. And joy is considered a vital component of awakening. It's an attitude of heartfelt interest, And that can make our practice sweeter. It helps to feed the enthusiasm and make the path a little more accessible and sustainable. We often say, you'll often hear us at the daily sit as we set up a practice, as if we are about to do something we really want to do, it. And when we begin to trust that we can ground and breathe, calm, settle, and soothe, we physically see some of the unbinding, we feel the unbinding and unwinding. That starts to feel good. When there is a release from the gripping and grasping, and there's a sense of relief, a little relief from an afflictive mind state, that starts to subside a little. Ooh, that starts to feel a little more ease and space. When that energy is freed up from the worry, the rumination of desires, of what I want, of what I don't want, of the regrets, there's a little more ease and space. Joy is released when we keep opening and softening. And there can be a deep, satisfying feeling. Sometimes we just get a glimmer of it, just a flash of it. It doesn't last, but we begin to trust and have confidence that it's available to us. It's here for us. We become more intimate with our hearts, minds, and bodies. And as our mindfulness grows and deepens, there can be a joy, or maybe delight is a better word, or contentment with how we are aware, how we are learning to be aware. Noticing that from this chair to my door, I got up and I got lost 20 times. 20 times I got lost. And appreciating the noticing. the coming back to a breath. And that's part of the awakening, noticing how distracted we've been. Where was I? And that we have this choice. We begin to really appreciate that we have this choice to begin again and again and again. Maybe joy is not always a word that fits. Maybe it's more a feeling of rightness. Oh, this is right understanding, right effort. This is what balanced energy feels like, or right speech. And this probably feels good, even if it's uncomfortable. We notice that we've met something that was difficult with a little more balance and sensitivity. And that might not be joyful in an ordinary sense. Some teachers will translate joy as the ability to say yes, yes, is an honest and courageous willingness to be present with life as it is. Yes, this is how it is. And yes, this is painful. Or yes to each breath. We can appreciate that we have this ability, we're growing the ability to choose where we pay attention and how we pay attention. And yes, to softening and allowing and holding our vulnerability with sensitivity and care. We start to grow confidence that we have a capacity to be joyful without needing some external conditions to be a certain way, or without needing some unpleasant feeling to go away. And Buddha taught, live in joy, in love, even among those who hate. Live in joy, in health, even among the afflicted. Live in joy and peace, even among the troubled. Look within, be still, free from fear and attachment. Know the sweet joy of the way. So let's keep the green bow alive in our hearts and trust that the songbirds, they're already here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Now let's turn to our practice. All right. You know what to do. Take this time to stretch, to let the body tell you what it needs. Oh. And notice what might need a little TLC today. Notice the edges of a stretch and take a breath. Sometimes I just imagine I'm turning doorknobs here. Feel the stretch of that. Maybe you need to shake it loose a little. Maybe a little swaying. A few sighs, perhaps. And please make sure that you have support beneath you, behind you, really setting up your practice with as much care and comfort as you need. And when you feel ready, maybe taking some deeper, slower breaths. From the very beginning, noticing what is here for you, pleasant, unpleasant, caring enough to notice. Breath will find its own natural rhythm. We're orienting toward a comfortable, easy breath. You might hear the sounds that are in your physical space, sensations of the air on the skin, tastes in the mouth, perhaps an orchestra of sensations in the body. Perhaps the eyes and face can soften a little. Allowing the hands to rest wherever they are. Inviting the body to soften and unbind a little. For this short practice, we are orienting in this direction of comfort and ease. Maybe you can sense some ease that's already here and available to you. We're exploring. Softening and allowing. We're inviting the discursive thinking, planning, organizing mind, that it too can relax for this short practice and drop into the stream of body and breath. And thoughts will be thinking and feelings will be arising. We're going to do our best not to follow so much, but to just allow our attention to settle with the body, breathing, sounds, sounding. as if this moment has everything that you need. Receiving this moment just as it is. Settling back a little more, softening and allowing. Yes to this breath, offered freely. Yes to this moment, never lived before. In the last moments of this practice, we might sprinkle some gratitude and appreciation for the folks sitting here with you and you with us. Each of us making room to be here as we are. What a gift.